Hey, everybody.
Hi, guys. Well, from TGIA headquarters here in Salt Lake City, Utah,
It's Thank God I'm Atheist.
the podcast.
I'm Frank.
And I'm Dan.
Coming up on today's episode, Mormon General Conference.
Yeah. Only
And
we're
the
not,
women.
we'll be not boring about it.
Ladies.
Oh, the ladies.
The ladies.
Hey, ladies.
General Conference ladies.
Ladies.
The ladies are back for some more General
What?
Conference.
There's some stand-up comic who said that the best way to make anything creepy is to follow it up with the word ladies. We're going to General Conference. Ladies. It's pretty good. It's a pretty good thing.
Yeah.
Way to creep people out.
Yeah. This is episode 99.
99.
99.
99 episodes.
I also think of 99 bananas.
Is that a thing?
It's a liqueur.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'm afraid
You
I'm
looked
not.
at me like, what the?
I'm apparently not up on my banana liqueurs.
Sorry, it's because I've bartended in my life.
Yeah, well,
I see stuff you never use.
I want to go.
Such as 99 bananas.
I'm going to start going into bars and ordering. I just need a shot of 99.
They're like, what the hell are
Just
you
need a
talking
shot.
about?
I'm going to do a round of 99 bananas. Everybody gets a shot. On me, everybody. Buying the whole bar a shot.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then they all get their shot and they think it's going to be like a kamikaze or something and they just pound it and it's just banana.
Yeah. This will mean nothing to anybody outside of Utah, but I'm sure it's not set up as a primary liqueur
That's true.
anywhere
That's
in
true.
the state of Utah.
You could just free pour that shit.
No, you can't.
No, you can't.
You can't.
Free
You can't
pour
use
a flavoring?
A flavoring by itself.
Oh, yeah. Well, so you have the liquor laws, friends and neighbors.
Being a bartender in the state of Utah is more about knowing the laws than
Right.
it is about knowing recipes.
Right. Yeah. You don't have to know any drinks.
No. Dear God, no. You just have to be good on the laws.
Yeah. Well, what's happening in the world, Franklin?
Well, have you heard about what's happening with the U.S. government right now? The fact
What
that it
U.S.
is-
government?
That is shut down.
We got no U.S. government. Ain't no U.S. government here.
There is no government at the moment, people. So do what you want.
Yeah.
Why has it not gone to anarchy?
Utter chaos. People are running the streets naked, robbing the poor and giving to the rich.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. No, that's when the government's in session
Yeah.
that happens.
Well, loosely related, the Christian TV host and pastor, Rick Joyner,
Oh, yeah.
this last week.
I prefer Rick Joyner Kersey.
He called on God for a military takeover of the United States to protect our democracy.
Wait,
in-
what military does he want to take over?
Ours. He wants the U.S. military to take over.
They're part of the
declare
problem.
martial law
Sure.
in order to get the bastards out, i.e. Obama. Because let's face it, that's
that
all he really
Negro
cares
president
about.
we've
Yeah.
got sitting up
That's
there.
all anybody really cares about these days
Right.
is the fact that we have Obama. And I don't, you know what?
Which is amazing
I even
because-
take out race. I mean, I know race has some factor, whatever,
Yeah.
for some of these people. But the broader question, the broader thing is that people just feel so emboldened in their hatred of this one man.
It's amazing. I
And
mean,
race might. I don't know the role that race really plays. I
You're
know
right.
it plays a role for a lot of people,
Well,
but
I
just
just-
to blanketly say it is.
You're right. It's not fair. But the thing is, like, I hated W.
Oh, I hate crackers.
Not where I was going. What I'm saying is I hated W with a passion. Like, I thought he was really, really doing damage to my country. And
Yeah.
that was, it was scary for me,
Mm-hmm.
and it made me angry, and it, like...
Yeah, but where did you take the discourse when you talked about George W. Bush?
I don't think I ever called for martial law.
Yeah, to
that's where
protect the
that's where I'm
country.
going with this. This is the extreme the places that these people's brains go to
Yeah,
when they're talking about Obama,
yeah.
who is really a very mild president.
Oh yeah.
And they talk about this guy and they use the word Antichrist.
Uh-huh.
They just throw out the word Antichrist for crying out loud.
I am disappointed in the Antichrist then.
He is the worst Antichrist ever. Ever. First of all, he's Christian.
Yeah.
That's a wrong way to go right there.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I don't know all the requirements to be the Antichrist. But as far as Antichrists go, this Democratic president is I want
to see some fireworks. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't. This guy, worst Antichrist ever.
Yeah. So there's the quotes from this guy. First of all, when I ran across this story, I wasn't 100% sure about the website that I was on, and I didn't know because sometimes you'll just like follow a link and all of a sudden you're on this website and you're like, my like satire like meter alarm is kind of going off.
The Poe's Law question comes up.
I'm like, this can't really be real, can it? Because it was so wonderfully written. Morningstar TV,
and it's good to be skeptical. Period.
Oh yeah,
anyway.
The host Rick Joyner predicted that democracy was doomed unless the Lord imposed martial law. And then this is a quote from the show. The balance of powers in the legislative and judicial branches were supposed to balance and hold in check, the potential tyranny from the executive branch overstepping their bounds. The people are not always right. It depends on who or what people they are.
Yeah.
And another thing the founders warned about is this thing will only work for a moral and a religious people. You remove morality, you remove the religious influence, and it cannot work. We're headed for serious tyranny. Sorry, I'm reading a lot here, but we don't have the video. The video's been pulled.
I need you to be more fiery then. Actually, he wasn't that fiery. Yeah. I saw the video.
Yeah. A terrible tyranny right now, but guess what? The kingdom is coming. The kingdom of God is coming, and America is not the kingdom of God. Okay, let me skip to something. Oh, I about touched my screen to scroll it up. I'm not on an iPad right now. Let's see. So Joyner added that the, quote, only hope is a military takeover, martial law. Bum, bum, bum.
Help me, United States military. Terry, you're my only hope. Yeah, well.
It's amazing.
The United States military is pretty tough. I bet they could take that guy down if they wanted to.
Yeah.
Of course, what this guy's neglecting is he's their commander-in-chief.
Yeah.
He owns them.
Yeah. This isn't going to work.
I've heard other people, like other right-wing nutballs, claiming that martial law has already been imposed.
Oh, dear God.
By him.
Well, when I was...
and if he's forcing people to have abortions and...
When I was showing my travel papers the other day, while driving along across town, that's my whole joke. You were supposed to... my travel paper. I'm sorry.
Yes.
There was no joke.
Oh, I get it. Because of the martial law,
you were supposed to jump in there. I was waiting for you to jump in there.
The papers.
I
get it.
I had to show my papers to cross. All right. To get over to the Harmons. The Harmons, they're...
Duh.
Anyways, sorry guys, that one fell flat.
That's all right.
But anyways, I checked out his website, themorningstarministries.org. Just to see what was going on it.
Right.
And he says, this is sort of his, he recognized that his little video had caused quite a stir. Some were outraged and some glad that the obvious had been stated.
Oh, this is him.
Yes, this is him writing. Both of these responses are understandable. The stir that was created by this is encouraging. I obviously touched a nerve, and even the national news, clearly not the rational news, picked it up. At least for a moment, a lot of people are alert and listening.
Yeah, he's grateful that anybody knows who the fuck he is.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost the worst thing you can do for some of these guys
is
to
actually
pick up their story.
Report on it. Yeah. You got to be careful about that.
Yep. But we can do it because
other people already did it.
I mean, nobody listens to this.
Nobody cares what we say. Well, okay. So we had a number of listeners want us to talk about this. So I wanted to talk about Sunday Assembly.
Sounds boring.
It's church.
Yeah.
but it's for us. It's Atheist Church.
Oh, hey, that sounds interesting.
This has been going for probably half a year or so in London. They opened recently, and apparently they're getting good turnout.
Yeah.
There are versions all over. There are branches now in Bristol, England, Melbourne, Australia, and New York City.
Wow.
All of this. So basically, it's they're setting off a thing. They're trying to start a movement here.
Okay.
Church for non-church people.
It can't be called church.
Okay. Well, that's why they
church
call
is
it.
what Christians call.
That's why they call it Sunday assembly. It's an assembly, which sounds awful.
Yeah. I bet church sounded pretty dumb the first time they said it.
Well, they just made up a word. So these guys need to make up a word.
Mosque. Temple.
Yeah.
Synagogue sounded really dumb.
Synagogue, yeah.
Synagogue.
Sounds like
Synagogue.
someone choked on something.
Church.
Anyway, so these guys are doing a great job. They got this it was founded in London, and it's mostly just fun. I mean, the guy that founded it, I think he's like a former stand-up comic, one of the founding members, and so they just play. They go, they get some entertaining and inspirational words, some good music, and people are singing and dancing. I think they have karaoke sometimes.
That's great.
Yeah.
Assembly karaoke.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
The quote, Mr. Jones, what's his name? Something Jones.
Mr. Jones? Sure.
I'm going to call him
I like that.
Terry Jones, because then it would be funny. Isn't that the name of the mustachioed pastor down in Florida?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, anyway.
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't make the connection.
Anyway, this guy, he's, and in looking for his name, I've lost the quote that I was going to say. He said, "We don't have heaven or hell to tempt or threaten people with. So if you want to get people to come, you want them to say, 'This is a good thing, which I enjoy.'"
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah. I mean, so it's guaranteed that it's either going to be good or people are going to stop going.
Right.
So that's fun.
Well, I read this thing that was saying that they modeled their services, their assembly services, after sort of the patterns of the Anglican Church, so that they would be sort of recognizable and that they would feel, comforting on a certain level, right? That they wouldn't be foreign. That they would sort of do this song talk pattern that everybody would know. Right. And it got me thinking about, and then they were also saying that other assemblies that are going to form around the world that are going to be associated with them need to at least initially be following their patterns and their way of doing everything and blah, 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 blah. Right. And it got me thinking of but what's the hang up here? Why do you have to do it the sort of Anglican way? Right. Because in Utah, the way that we would want it to be would be sort of, oh God, the Mormon patterns.
If you pattern anything after Mormon Church, you have made vast mistakes. I mean, unless you're like trying to get information out of an inmate at Gitmo, you don't want to subject anybody to Mormon Church.
No, come on, Dan. It would be the thing that we like. It doesn't have to be their songs and their inane, pattern or their inane speak. Yeah, but their pattern of like
what do you take from Mormon Church that you liked? Because that's the thing. This guy, Sanderson Jones, it turns out to be his name.
Sanderson.
Isn't that an interesting thing? Who goes ahead and names our kid Sanderson? Anyway, yeah, that's right. This is my son. Anyway, Sanderson said that he said that he left. He said, "quote, I left a Christmas Carol service and thought, there's so much here that I love. It's just a shame that there's something in the middle that I don't believe in." Huh. That was his inspiration. Right. His co-founder, Pippa Evans.
Pippa. You don't meet many Pippas.
Not in the U.S. Yeah. In the U.K., I think there's more Pippas per capita. There's a Pippa per capita. Anyway,
person to yeah.
Enough with your alliteration. She said, "I always felt like there wasn't a place to have that same sort of community. I couldn't get my head around how to do it without offending anyone.
Mm.
Well, since when has an atheist ever been worried about offending anyone?
Yeah,
We're kind of jerks
Pippa.
as a group. We're kind of just assholes as a group.
But her name's Pippa. She doesn't want to offend people.
No, there's never been a Pippa who wants to offend. They just don't want to do it. So this is the question, Franklin. You and I grew up going to god-awful Mormon church.
Yeah.
But it wasn't all bad.
No.
So what do we take from what elements would you snip out of Mormon church if you were to take things?
Oh God, I don't know. I would say from sacrament meeting itself. You do sing usually 4 times, right?
3 or 4, yeah.
3 or 4 times, depending on the tradition in your ward, probably more than anything. But there's space for 4 songs. I liked the singing.
I liked the singing too.
I liked sort of joining your voice in, it didn't matter how good or bad of a singer you were. Everyone just raises their voice and sings. Right. That's great. I like that.
I think so, and I think that our society, I don't know about other places, but here in the U.S., we don't have a lot of group sing.
No, we don't,
and it's fun.
It is fun.
It's nice.
Only like Rocky Horror Picture Show, or like sing along the
Sound of Music.
Sound of Music. Yeah.
Anyway, so that's good. I would take that. I kind of like I like the idea of a modified testimony meeting.
I was going to kind of go there. I didn't know if I wanted to, but like...
Mormonism has this thing once a month, and it can be disastrous, but once a month, people from the congregation, the entire main meeting is devoted to people from the congregation, like going up to the podium or having a microphone brought to them, and just what they say, bearing their testimony.
Yeah. Of
the church's truth.
Yeah.
And while there wouldn't be any truth testifying,
no,
you
could share your story.
A place where people could just share something that's happened to them, or share something funny, or just...
My name's Frank. I'm an atheist.
Hi, Frank. No, wait, that sounds a little too
12-step programming.
AA. But something along those lines. Just something where everybody can share. I think that would be nice. I think, there's a lot we can. I mean, why not borrow from AA? There's something that's fun.
What's important about this meeting is that it is the fast and testimony meeting.
Oh yeah, no, we're not borrowing fasting.
No. I think that you should be. That's what makes it interesting. Is that you have this delirium caused by your hunger, and you're uncomfortable. And when you get up to talk, your mind just sort of like goes.
Yeah, the idea...
Your barriers are sort of broken down.
That's an interesting point. The idea with fast and testimony meeting is that you fast for that day. And then you...
For the first 2 meals.
And then you
Technically, you should be fasting from dinner the night before.
Technically.
Nobody does that. Everybody still has their bowl of ice cream before dinner.
Right.
Or before going to bed.
So the idea is that you're supposed to fast, and then you give the money that you would have spent on the meal to a fund that goes to the poor. Now, that's actually a great idea, too.
That's a great one.
I kind of love that.
Yeah.
So everybody has to fast, show up on this Sunday, once a month, and you have to fast until... And then I think the congregation breaks the fast together. Yeah. That's something that Mormonism should do. Just if ever, once the service is done, meet us out there.
Have a little feast.
We got a buffet.
Yeah. No, I like that.
That'd be fun.
And also we need missionaries to bring people into the fold. If we're going to have fake...
No.
We're going to have atheist Mormon church, then we need fake Mormon, atheist non-missionaries.
Just
missionaries.
Going door to door, giving the good news about...
Yeah. Hey, come join us. Don't eat for 2 meals. Have this meeting. And we're going to have a big feast. And it's going to be awesome.
It'll be fun. Okay. Well, there you go. Atheist church. We'll figure something out.
With or without missionaries.
Right.
Here's an interesting thing.
Oh?
Are you familiar with Hobby Lobby?
The Hobe Lobe?
Yes.
Hobo Lobo?
The ultra-Christian
Yeah.
crazies who own Hobby Lobby, who run it as though it were like their church that sells crap.
Right. Well, the last time we checked in with Hobby Lobby, you and I were talking to our lovely listeners about it because they ran a full-page ad across the nation in papers all over the place.
Yeah.
That was all about like our founding fathers were Christian. This was what 4th of July.
Yeah,
and it was all about
their tradition now. I think. Yeah.
Woohoo! Founding fathers. This is a Christian country. Yeah. Go Christians!
Somebody runs it every year. Ugh.
Jesus.
Yeah, not Jesus. Anyways, so there's a group of Jews who have noticed that Hobby Lobby doesn't stock Hanukkah stuff.
Well,
so
what did they expect?
They're starting to wonder if Hobby Lobby is maybe a little anti-Semitic.
Yeah. Well, it's not Hobby Lobby.
That needs to be a thing.
It should be a thing. Spelled CHOBBY. I've decided to take up a new hobby. If only we had the place we could go for such a thing. I need a toll-painted menorah. I need probably a dreidel or something. Where could I go?
Yeah.
I want to make my own dreidel.
For the crafty Jews in the world, a Hobby Lobby. That's a great idea. I love it.
My wife's been scrapbooking all of our son's foreskins, and so it's beautiful.
Dan. You have to go there.
Yep. I did.
So, nonetheless, the Hobby Lobby promotes Christian values.
Yes.
And they just apparently, even in areas that have like significant Jewish populations, where every other store is stocking Hanukkah stuff.
Yeah, because it's money.
Because it's money. You make money. You stock Hanukkah stuff, you make money.
Well, the quote that I read, the story that I read about Hobby Lobby said that there were the people went into it and said, "Hey, do you have any Hanukkah stuff, or do you have any Jewish stuff?" And they said, "We don't cater to you people." That's a nice people. That's a nice way of putting it.
Yeah. Here is Hobby Lobby's response to an email inquiry from Religion News Service.
Right.
Hobby Lobby Stores Incorporated is currently working with our buyers over our merchandise selection. Our customers have brought this to our attention. We are currently evaluating our holiday items and what we will carry in the future. That is so freaking non-committal.
Yeah, well, they don't want to commit to that.
Yeah.
I mean, let's face it. The Jews killed their savior. Mm-hmm. So that's enough to piss anybody off.
Here's the deal. Hobby Lobby is already closed on Sundays.
Yeah.
Do they want another Sabbath that they have to
Right. They got to close on Friday, sundown. It's just... Eventually, you just can't be open.
Yeah. Well...
Anyway,
craziness. But it's happening. That's happening in the world, Dan.
It's true. Hobby Lobby is happening in the world. What's not happening is Hobby Lobby.
Oh, God.
Got a good way to discourage pesky Jehovah's Witnesses from coming to your house and bothering you.
Okay.
This one is comes to us courtesy of John Baldwin of Centerton, Arkansas.
Okay.
Oh, no, sorry, Centeron, Arkansas.
Okay.
Who, after telling a group of 3 J-dubs to hit the road, he then punctuated his feelings by firing 19 shots at them.
But there were only 3 of them. He's a bad marksman.
He's a horrible marksman. I think they had already made it to their car by the time he had retrieved his weapon. And he shot at
I thought
them.
this was going to be a legitimate good way to keep them away. I mean, I guess they won't be going back.
That's legitimate, man.
But I mean...
They're not coming back to him
in a way
ever.
that doesn't also land your ass in jail.
Nope, it's not that. It's the other kind. It's the kind that you should never, ever, ever employ.
Okay.
What the fuck? He got his 9mm and fired 19 shots.
Oh, what a tard. Oh, I'm not supposed to say that anymore.
No.
I'm sorry, everyone.
19.
Brent gets on me all the time.
Yeah, you shouldn't say that.
I know, but it just slips out every once in a while. I don't
We need-
I don't say the full word. That's always been my defense whenever he chides me.
It's totally gonna work. It's
I'm
like
sorry,
it's like
everybody.
that completely inoffensive
normally-
word "nig" or
Shut up. Shut up. I try not to. I try.
we need what we
It's
need
hard.
to do.
I'm working
rather
on it,
than, I know.
everyone. I'm
Rather than
sorry.
truncating it, though, we need to come up with a viable alternative. And unfortunately, there's not a good one. How do you say you are a really, really stupid person?
Idiot?
Yeah, moron. Yeah,
But they
they
like,
don't have
they
that punch.
I know.
We
I
need
know.
something with a good punch.
Yeah, I won't tell you what we said in my school instead of.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, that's probably bad. if you're not even willing to say it on microphone, that's probably a bad thing.
And the thing is, I've asked people if they said this, and no one did anywhere. It's amazing.
What could it possibly?
No. I'm not going to say it because it's playing off of the other thing that I'm not supposed to say.
Did you say
No. That would be awful, Dan.
Yeah, exactly. It's why I guessed it.
No, we had a substitution that was not a very good substitution. But
Okay.
anyways.
Anyway, so yeah, I guess the Jehovah's Witnesses won't be bothering Mr. Baldwin anymore, but the police will. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I guess he said. I guess he told them to get the fuck off my property. I'm adding back in the expletive that was deleted in the article that I was reading, and then said, "Get my 9." I don't know, or get me my 9, as in 9mm.
Yeah.
I don't know to whom he was saying that, but apparently they did.
Wow.
And
His gun assistant.
yes, police say they found 13 shell casings and the 9mm handgun, and apparently he fired. Those were just the ones that he found.
Huh.
But do you realize how much time it takes to fire off that many rounds? Like, that's a lot.
Yeah, no, you're right.
It's ridiculous. Yeah, like you fire 5 and that seems sufficient. How many was that?
I lost count.
Oh, damn it.
It was 12.
It's not even close. Yes, he just has to keep going. He must have had to change clips. No, maybe he hadn't.
No, that's probably how much it holds. He has like a clip expander or something. I don't even know how this works.
I just think it's amazing that nobody was injured.
Guns.
Yeah.
I don't know guns. I have fired for
There
my
is
fair share
a
of
photo,
guns in
ladies
my
and
life.
gentlemen.
But
There is
I
a
don't really know what they
photo
are.
at Frank's house of him at the tender age of what, 9, 10, holding a Tommy gun, a Thompson submachine gun,
My sister's holding one too, to be fair. I'm not the only one in the photo.
and it's a legitimate gun. It's
yeah.
not. It's not like some fake thing.
It's also a legitimate photo. Like
Yeah.
my family is like standing there posed in a rifle range
It's so funny.
in our like Sunday best also.
Yes. looking at once like amused and wildly uncomfortable.
Oh, my sister's way into it.
Yeah.
She's like, she saw some Charlie's Angels when she was growing up, and she was like, I am holding a gun. And she's like doing this little pose. There's this look on her face. And I'm just like grinning ear to ear.
And you were what, at FBI headquarters or CIA headquarters?
FBI. Yeah, my dad had a cousin who worked in the Justice Department.
Yes, indeed.
And so he got us a fancy tour of the FBI center that included getting our photo taken.
Hey,
whatever.
You guys want to take a picture with some guns?
Sure.
Oh, Frank, you look so manly.
Yeah. I love that photo.
It's a great photo. Anyway.
Yeah, my very Republican family.
Yeah.
No,
supposed to have
they're
guns.
Republicans, folks.
Yeah.
So, like, hardcore Republicans.
Uh-huh. We get it.
Yeah.
What's next?
Have you heard of the nominals?
I've heard of binomial nomenclature. Is that
No.
I've heard of nominal.
Apparently, so you know the term none,
Mm-hmm.
as far as like this new sort of demographic group in the U.S.
Oh,
People who
not
don't
the women in the
affiliate-
funny hats and
No,
the
this
funny
is
habits, but
people who don't affiliate with a religious group.
people who
may be
select
atheist?
no religion
Right.
or none.
They may be atheist or agnostic, or they just have not affiliated.
Right.
And the assumption is that they are not believers.
Right.
So now there's the nominals who affiliate but don't actually believe.
Oh.
And so
Are they actually like getting metrics on these people? Like,
yeah. So what might immediately spring to mind would be sort of the Jewish community in the United States.
right.
There's this large group of people who identify as Jewish, but they see it as more of a cultural identity.
Right.
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 And that's sort of already in our heads, right?
The John Stewarts of the world.
Sure. It's also a phenomenon among U.S. Christians now. A lot more than perhaps in the past, or that anybody might have assumed. But I mean, Catholics have done this for a while,
Sure.
to a certain extent.
Yeah, you get your Easter Christmas Catholics.
Yeah, exactly.
That don't actually believe anything, but they go every.
But they go. Protestants, it's starting to become pretty common amongst Protestants.
Well, you got to think of all of these
starts to get
people in the South who are like, you have to be in a church, like people who don't want to raise a ruckus, people who don't want to make waves. They don't believe anything anymore.
Right.
But it's just like, of course I'll go to church. I just want to fit into the society.
Right.
Yeah.
And then they expose their kids to it, and then their kids end up being whacked out crazy Christians.
Right.
Much to their chagrin, hopefully.
Yeah.
But anyways, so a new Pew Research Center survey found that 62% of American Jews said Jewishness is largely about culture or ancestry. And just 15% said it's about religious belief.
Wow, 15.
There were...
Those 15 are all the ones that have the
interesting-
Sukkot little huts in their backyard and stuff.
The Pew survey found that 34% of Jews say it's okay to see Jesus as the Messiah. Weird.
Yeah.
I don't even know how that fits into this whole thing.
Jews for Jesus.
But
There's a whole group.
The study also found that found most Catholics, 77%, are proud to be Catholic, but only 55% say that they are practicing their faith.
Right.
Most say they can be good Catholics without going to weekly mass, at 68%. Helping the poor and needy is a moral obligation for most, 68%. But only 61% see the sacraments as essential.
Yeah.
And then less than half of Catholics, 43%, look to the Pope and bishops when they make moral choices.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's not like these people aren't using contraception and stuff.
Oh, I'm sorry. This is the article's citing this. This is a different study from 2008.
Oh,
but nonetheless, it dovetails into this one.
Yeah.
And so yeah, it's there's a group that I guess demographers or people who do this kind of study call survey Christians. People who say that they are Christian, but in reality they don't really practice anything that's Christian, and they don't believe in Christ. Christ has no role in their life.
Yeah, they don't pray, they don't read the Bible, they don't do any of that stuff. But if you say, hey, what religion are you? They just knee-jerk, Christian.
Yeah, exactly. And there was something really interesting about millennials in this one. There was another study of 1,200 young adults under the age of 30 that found that nearly 3 in 4 call themselves more spiritual than religious. More than 2 in 3 say they rarely or never pray with others, attend worship services, or read the Bible.
Yeah.
Or other sacred books. I
don't blame them. It's all boring and stupid.
So crazy boring. And only half said that believing in Jesus Christ is the only way to get into heaven.
Yeah.
Yeah. So these are numbers that have drifted. Oh, and also something that was interesting in this is that they're saying that this old idea of it was just kind of a given that you might not be very religious when you were young, but you would sort of start taking your kids to church.
Yeah, you settle into your religiosity as you see your life slipping into a nonsense oblivion.
Not really happening anymore.
Yeah.
Well, not in the numbers that it used to. So these are good.
Thank
good
God
things
for that.
us. And here's a quote at the end of one of the authors of Christianity After Religion. Oh wait, no, I'm sorry. She's just a scholar, but she says, "I suspect that many nominals will move toward none, while a smaller percentage will embrace their inherited faiths in a more personal, experiential way." Blah 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 blah. But yeah, it makes sense that as society starts to become more accepting of nuns, then the nominals will just move into the nun category and solidify that as sort of their.
Once we as a group stop, like find a way to mitigate our reputation as insufferable, like smug pricks.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll start to get more people coming over into our group, being willing to associate themselves with us.
I would hope so.
One might imagine that that's the case. Okay. So I'm going to whisk us away to Topeka, Kansas.
Oh, I love Topeka.
Sure. We've been there. Capital city.
Yes.
Yes is all he's got. The entirety of his response to Topeka is, sure, that exists. I remember being there. Anyway, it will come as little surprise to anyone that there is now there's a bit of a dispute as to what the children should study in the schools and what science should be taught to the school kids.
Yeah, sure.
So there is a righteous fight on our hands, and there's a pending lawsuit in federal court. There's a lawsuit that's been filed in federal court. And is it filed by the FRF?
Oh.
No.
No?
It's not filed by the FRF.
Well, why not FRF?
It's filed by Citizens for Objective Public Education.
And who are they?
Christians.
No. No.
Yeah.
Where's the story going?
They are against so Kansas and 25 other states, as well as the National Research Council, are all being sued because they've adopted a group of standard science or science standards, which include such controversial things as, evolution being true and climate change being true and real.
Nah.
So these guys are mad as hell. They are convinced that it is promotion of atheism.
Now, yeah.
It's just, yeah.
Huh.
The new science standards are promotion of atheism. The parents say, the parents who are part of this suit say that they want to instill a belief in their children that, quote, life is a creation made for a purpose.
Oh, you have a special purpose.
Yes. There's meaning to me.
Oh.
And that meaning is that a magic daddy in the sky made me. And now I can obey his every whim. A local lawyer said, the state's job is simply to say to students, how life arises continues to be a scientific mystery, and there are competing ideas about it.
Huh. Wow.
There are, in fairness, competing ideas.
Yeah. One
that's supported by all of the evidence.
Right. And the other one that
doesn't have any evidence at all, but is really, really comforting to some people.
Yeah, it feels really good.
So
that's nice.
Yeah. They're very upset. By the time you get into the third grade, you'll learn all the essential elements of Darwinian evolution, says one guy. By the time you're in middle school, you're a Darwinist. Next thing you know, they are going to be teaching these kids gravity. And then by the time they're in middle school, they're a Newtonist.
That is terrible.
I just love that. I love that it's Darwinism. It's not, this is a fact that all science agrees on.
Right.
It's
It's that dude said it.
It's this
And
Darwin
he's the only
guy.
one.
He's the only guy that
Clearly.
he just, he started his religion of
And everybody just
evolution.
drank the Kool-Aid.
All these other scientists just believe it. They don't even look at it.
No, that's not what science. That's not what science is about.
No. Yeah. It's just,
Study and
It's not like it's about taking taking observable things and,
testing the life out of them.
Right. And trying to falsify everybody else's work and all of that sort of thing. No, it's not about that at all. It's just about believing.
Yeah. Just blindly.
It's about, different theories
Yeah.
on how life came to be.
Yeah.
We learned that in Dallas at that museum.
Yeah, well, yeah, there's a lot
We learned all about how,
Was anybody there, Dan?
There was
Did anybody see it?
we didn't observe these
Science
creatures.
is about observation, Dan.
Right. That's all it's about.
That's all it is.
That's all it is. It's about observation and nobody saw creation happen either.
No.
So they're equally valid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never seen God.
Right.
Yeah.
So you can't prove
Yeah.
that God exists.
Yeah.
But you can't prove that Darwin exists either.
No.
That's the real thing. We don't even know if this guy really existed or not.
Yeah. Nobody ever saw him. Nobody ever saw Darwin.
No. And the people that did, that's just hearsay. They claim they saw him.
Yeah.
Oh, sure, people claim
Yeah.
that he was on.
But those people who claim that, Dan, they weren't claiming that until 30 years after
Right.
Darwin supposedly made his observations.
Right? See? All the people that claim to, he went to the Galapagos Islands?
Yeah, and was like raised from the dead or something.
He made that up.
Yeah.
There's no Galapagos Islands. That's ridiculous.
The Galapagos Islands.
Yeah, I went to the Schmelipadu Islands. How about that?
Yeah.
And guess what I found? Yeah, I found
Creation.
I found finches that all have different beaks that do different things.
Yeah. Weird.
Stupid. Evolution is stupid.
I was about to say a different word.
All right. We better move on before Frank starts using words that we're not supposed to use again.
Yeah, I can't help it. Well, all right.
There you go.
That's it.
But the real news is that there's something for them to sue about, which is that Kansas has adopted these science standards.
Oh, that's cool.
I think that's great.
Yeah.
Good job, Kansas, because we're not used to hearing good, smart science news from Kansas,
No.
to be perfectly honest with you.
All right. Well, if you would like to join in on the conversation and give us your 2 cents, there's an email address, podcast at thankgodimatheist.com. You can send us your comments.
Yeah, or you can go to facebook.com/TGIAtheist and join the conversation there.
Or you could leave us a voicemail at 424-666-8442.
Sure.
Something about some podcast awards, Dan?
Okay, so I don't know anything about these, but we've been podcasting for a while now.
Yeah.
It's time for us.
Almost 2 years.
It's time for us to win some awards, people. So I was just made aware that there are People's Podcast Awards,
Yeah.
and the nominations are now open. So if you like us and you want to nominate us, go to podcastawards.com.
Yeah.
And there's a little thing to fill out, and you can just put us in.
Yeah.
And, it asks you to give the podcast name, which is Thank God I'm Atheist.
Mm-hmm.
And then it asks you to give the podcast URL, which in our case would be thankgodimatheist.com.
Right. No abbreviating here. We throw a lot of TGI Atheist around.
Right, but it's just
the
Thank
name
God.
of it is Thank God I'm Atheist.
And it's not Thank God I'm an atheist.
Right.
It's Thank God I'm Atheist.
Right.
So
exactly.
Get out there and
we don't want to lose out on this award for some weird technicality.
Yeah. But get out there and make us famous, people.
And also, what a wonderful way for people who maybe can't like us on Facebook to get in on some love action.
Yeah.
Of the podcast.
And if you want to show us some love, that's a great way to do it. You can also just go to iTunes, leave a review.
Yeah.
You know, that's a really nice thing to do. We got a nice 5-star rating. I think that
it's amazing.
Doesn't hurt anything. And also you can instead of giving us your 2 cents, you can give us more than 2 cents. If you go on to thankgodimatheist.com and you can donate to us. All right. Soon, everyone.
Ooh. I'm
going to just say this. Merch.
Ooh.
Coming down the pike.
No, you didn't.
It is in process, people. If we can get our web guy to actually put it up there, it's all ready to go.
Oh, yay.
All he has to do is just put it up there.
Oh, yay. Oh, that's fantastic.
Hopefully everything works out right.
Okie doke. Well, let's take a quick break. This is going to be some audio from a video that we shot last year.
It's a jackass talking to some Mormons.
Yeah. And outside of General Conference, since we're coming up on the General Conference.
The Mormon General Conference is a bi-yearly thing. Or no, right, it's a half-yearly thing.
Yeah.
Bi-yearly would be every 2 years. Twice yearly thing. So this was the last time, and then, just talk to some folks.
Yeah.
Does it surprise you that a woman's never prayed in conference before?
No, it probably just worked out that way.
And yeah, I'd heard the announcement about it before conference, so it didn't really catch me by surprise.
I didn't recognize that. I didn't realize it was the first time in General Conference.
Does that surprise you?
No.
You know that it was the first time a woman's ever prayed in conference?
Yeah, that was awesome.
What did you think about that?
I thought it was super cool.
Does it surprise you that a woman's never prayed in conference before?
Kinda, I guess. I've never really thought about it.
There was a group of women that met during the priesthood session yesterday that want women to be ordained to the priesthood. What do you think of that? You're shaking your head. What do you think?
Well, our church believes that men have the priesthood and women are to be taken care of the priesthood by the priesthood. And I believe that that's men's. I can't think of the word.
It's their responsibility. Their responsibility to hold the priesthood and to administer those things that are done by the priesthood, and it's the responsibility of the women to nurture and to instruct and to take care of the home and family. I wouldn't want the responsibility of the priesthood.
That's just kind of like, that's what I know to be true, is that the men hold the priesthood, and, the women, they have their own roles. They procreate, they can have children, and you work together with the priesthood to have, like, a family,
The role of a woman, certainly, as my wife said, she takes care of me. She takes care of the things that I can't seem to get to. She certainly is more of a nurturer and one who follows the needs of my children and me. I guess that's all I can say. The role of in the church. I mean, I don't think I need to see women doing some of the roles that I've had to do in my life, and I'd rather protect women from some of those things that I've had to do. So me holding the priesthood, I think, is fine, and my wife doesn't need to do that.
Basically, my total opinion of this is, if you don't like the way the religion's run, find a different religion. But we are following exactly the way that we've been told it needs to follow, and they can go decide what they believe and design their own religion around that. But we've been told what we need to believe, and thus we follow it.
Oh, kids. The Mormons, they're so devout.
Those women who just have no interest in, like,
in their own whatevers. We'll get to that. We'll get to all of it. We are going to talk in depth in just a minute about women in the Mormon Church.
Mormon.
But before we do that, we have some lovely correspondence from all y'all.
Yeah, some good stuff.
So we wanted to get to that. First up, what do we got? We got
let's take Drew's email.
Okay, we'll talk to Drew. Do you want to take that?
Yeah, let me see. I have it right here. So I'll just start with. He says, so I started having feelings for this girl who I've been friends with for like 5 years, and recently told her about these feelings. She said she has also had feels this way, but isn't sure if she wants to start a serious relationship with me because Catholicism is a very important aspect of her family life, and I'm an atheist. I thought a lot about this before bringing up my feelings with her, and had thought about the whole religion thing, but didn't think it would be as big a deal as it apparently is.
Yeah.
She does not have a problem with atheists, as most of our friends are atheist and open about it. We are all engineering grads in Seattle. And he says, Dan, I know that you said your wife was a Mormon. Did you begin dating her while she was still a devout Mormon? Was the religion / lack of a religion a big issue? You may have touched on this a bit in previous episodes, but honestly, I don't remember which ones. Haha. Thanks, Drew. So, Dan, tell us a little bit about your wife.
I'll tell you, man, it was weird. Because, when we first started dating, Andrea was still a Mormon.
Yeah.
If you asked her, I mean, perhaps it was slightly more cultural than anything. But she believed, I guess, on some level. Still, she was still sorting that out.
Mm-hmm.
So, it was an issue. She liked me, I liked her, so we dated, and she was open-minded and stuff. But, when things started to get a little more serious between us, when we started to, look toward the future, there were questions. Questions like, well, how would we raise kids if you're an atheist and I'm LDS? And there is no correct or incorrect answer to that. There's just your answer to that. My answer to that was just, I want to teach my kids how to think, not what to think.
Right.
So, do you let your spouse take the kids to church? I say maybe. These are all, there's just a lot going on here. The truth of the matter is, you may not, you need to decide with her, with this person that you're dating, does your interest in each other supplant your disagreement on this point?
Right.
Because if it does, you need to commit to that. If your interest and love for each other is stronger than your need to have a partner that believes the same thing as you, then you're going to have some negotiations ahead of you. You're going to have some continuing dialogue that you'll need to keep going.
Right.
And I do insist that continual dialogue is called for. As soon as if you feel like anything's locked down between you guys, you're going to have trouble.
Yeah.
So keep the lines of communication wide open. Let your feelings be known and be open to your partner's feelings. But in the end, the truth is it may not work.
Right.
Sometimes you can't fit a square peg into a round hole.
Yeah. Well, and what it sounds like to me...
Is your peg square, by the way? True.
What it sounds like to me is, they're still very much just friends who have expressed and shared these feelings that they have about each other.
Right.
But there's, from the details he's giving us, he hasn't told us how far they've gone down the road of dating and whatnot.
The trick,
and so
you're just gonna have to ask her.
Yeah.
How much, what's important to you and what's not.
And I think it's also really important to you have to assess each of you needs to assess your ability to be with somebody who has a starkly divergent understanding of the world,
and just be honest with yourself
and your place in it and all this kind of stuff. I couldn't really be with somebody who was a believer.
It's tough.
Personally.
And,
I couldn't.
And the truth is...
I would not allow myself to be in a long-term relationship.
Right. And that's fine.
And I don't even have to worry about kids ever being in the issue.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
I just wouldn't be able to... I need to be able to relate to... actually, this is kind of probably a little fucked up. Pretty much everybody in my life has to kind of be good on the atheist issue. On a certain level. You know what I mean? People who are wishy-washy and use the word agnostic and blah blah blah, I give them a pass.
Sure,
but think about my entire circle of friends.
It's true.
I haven't allowed
you don't have
believers.
Any believers. Yeah,
I haven't.
I, on the other hand, am a little more open than that. I'm fine with believers being my friend as long as they're just as open about me as I am about them. And all and I'm obviously outspoken. I'm not gonna be a wilting violet if they say something that's fucked up or whatever. But the other thing is that the whole time I was dating Andrea, I was monitoring it. I was just like, where is this going? Is this going to be okay or not?
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't convinced that it was going to work.
Yeah.
And I think you have to be open and honest with yourself about that.
Yeah.
I think self-honesty is the key here. As is, it's kind of the key for a lot of things.
Yeah.
Anyway.
All right, cool.
Thanks for writing.
Yeah, of course.
Drew.
Thanks, Drew.
Jim wrote us. Did he leave a voicemail? I think he contacted us. Do you remember I think he left a voicemail and he just said, "Hey, I'm coming to Salt Lake City. I want to go see the Temple Square."
Oh, yeah.
Is there a way for me to get into the temple?
He left a voicemail.
Right. And we just said, no, there's no way you're going to get into the temple, but go see Space Jesus while you're there and, other stuff. Well, he sent us some lovely photos of Space Jesus. He says, well, I made it to Temple Square and I found Space Jesus.
Yeah.
What a trip this place is. There's a very cult-like vibe.
Mm-hmm.
The people there are very friendly, but I think my posing for pictures with Jesus made them a bit uncomfortable. Signed, Jim.
It's good. They need to feel that feeling.
Yeah.
That's good.
I think there's one picture of him that's clearly like behind the temple. Like we know exactly where it is because we know the temple grounds really well. But it looks like he's trying to find the secret door that we were telling him.
And it clearly is actually a back door.
There is a
it's probably like an emergency exit
or like
something.
a maintenance door or something like that. But yeah, it's there. You just can't go in.
Well, yeah, they've had to figure out how to do emergency exits for that building.
Anyway, I'm very glad that you wrote that. Wrote into us about that. Ryan contacted us on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
Said a lot of nice things about us and about how he's like a Mormon that's like from a Mormon family.
Seriously, Mormon.
It goes back 6 generations, and he says his great aunt was married to and tried to legally divorce Brigham Young.
Yeah,
I like the word "tried" in there. Good luck. Anyway,
she was trying to divorce the head of a theocracy.
Right, exactly. It's like trying to divorce a sultan or something. Only one with weird beard. I guess sultans can have beards.
Yeah, they've got even weirder beards.
Beards. He said he started listening a few months ago, and he's really looked forward to the shows, and he's gone back and he says our humorous insight and pragmatic approach have helped with the bitterness he has felt for his wasted years and those of his still active family.
Huh.
That's nice to hear.
Yeah.
And then he goes on like that, just flattering the hell out of us and buttering us up.
Feels so good.
Kind of a kiss ass there, Ryan. Just kidding. Anyway, but he did have a question for us.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just sort of a philosophical question or a guess thing. What will happen first? An openly gay president of the United States or an openly atheist one? Oh, Ryan.
Neither.
Never. They will never, ever happen.
Both.
I think, yeah, exactly. They'll elect an open... The gay
It'll be
president...
2 birds with one stone.
The gay president will certainly be an atheist. I don't know. It doesn't seem likely that either will happen any time in the near future. We're looking at...
Although I would say we got an African-American president a lot sooner than I thought we were going to get.
A lot sooner than a lot of people. Yeah. But, I mean, you look at the African-American, like the civil rights movement.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if we plot the same course for gay rights / atheist rights, so for gay acceptance / atheist acceptance, that looks like it's about 50 years away.
And here's the thing, I think that the atheist thing is going, it's been behind. Mm-hmm. I think all of a sudden it's just going to boop, click.
Maybe
I think it's going to hit this threshold where we feel like more people coming out, and then it's just going to click general acceptance. I think it's totally different.
I think that's possible, except that here's the thing.
Even though we're behind.
The gay thing...
even though this half of me is behind this other half of me.
Yeah. I'm just saying the gay thing... The problem is that it's a different kind of movement. Because the gay thing and the black thing, the race thing, these are things that the general public accepts you don't get to choose.
Yeah, that's true.
Our thing... we do get to choose.
Yeah.
Or at least, I heard an interesting argument, which was that you don't actually get to choose what you believe. Your brain processes the information that it gets, and then you're compelled to believe whatever it is that you believe based on what evidence is brought into you. Like, could you choose not, or could you choose to start believing in God again? Do you feel like you have that choice?
No.
I don't feel like I have that choice. You can't unring that bell. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but what I'm saying isn't so much about it is about sort of the numbers of people who accept and come out as atheists,
Sure.
right? But what I'm saying is that I think that swell, that mass is going to be so big that like it took a while for people to realize, because the gay population is actually so small, that they knew people.
Right.
It took a long time for them to actually meet someone. I've been a lot of people's first gay person.
Sure.
You know what I mean? And
You
it's
were
like,
my first gay.
I was basically told that by a really obnoxious woman one night. And I was like,
Was
and
she
was
excited?
acting like it. Yeah, she was like from Wyoming or something.
Oh,
I don't
you
even
were
know
the first gay!
how she like was at the same party or whatever. And I was just like, Gaga? What?
Good Lord.
And
You people exist in real life?
And she was like, "You are going to be my. I know how this relationship works.
Yeah.
You know, like,
right. I've seen Will and Grace. I know.
Yeah. And
Oh,
I'm like,
we are going to get our nails done together. You're going to teach me how to dress better.
Go find yourself a gay that like
You need an entry level
does that.
gay.
Yeah. You.
Go find yourself an entry level gay.
First of all, with that hair, sweetheart, you need a Wyoming gay.
You are in over your head, honey. You cannot stand up to this level of gay.
Shit. But you know what I mean? Like, I think it's just going to be a bigger mass of people.
Right. Well, and what
that come out as atheists.
That's a good
eventually.
point. I mean, because
everybody's going to end up having a neighbor. Everybody's going to have people in their family. Everybody's going to, and
Right.
it's just going to be like, oh. And there's going to be that moment of awkwardness for a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
And there'll still continue to be that for a lot of people whose families and friends will be a little weirded out. But ultimately, it's just going to come to a head in a very different way, I think. That's just my gut.
That's
I
an
have
interesting
nothing to
theory.
base that on.
It's an interesting theory. I don't know.
But then we're talking about a big hypothetical anyways.
Right.
So I can be totally just bullshit.
Yeah. Do we have a voicemail, don't we?
We do have a voicemail, and I will play it now.
Hey guys, this is Shukin Trigo Kawanishi from Second Life. I was just listening to the podcast, and you guys were talking about the mother-in-law who was coming over and leaving books and videos and whatnot that were religious for the kids. I know you guys said that you don't have kids of your own, so you probably wouldn't have had to have dealt with this one before in quite this area. What you completely glossed over, probably because you don't have to deal with it yet, is the fact that she was going around behind the parents' back. Now, whether or not it's religious or not, for somebody to go around behind a parent's back for whatever reason, to the kids, no matter whether mother-in-law or, whatever the case may be, there's just something fundamentally wrong about that. And it's, like I said, it's not a religious thing. So you guys take care of yourselves. Thank you very much for your time, and I will be listening later.
Okay, so there's something I got to get out of the way.
We both got to get this out of the way. Because he makes a great point, and we need to get to his point.
No quibble with the point. The point is definitely needed.
And we'll get to that as soon as we address Sparkle Friggle Pony. What the fuck are you talking about?
I got Shaping Triple Pony.
What the fuck? We need names here, people. I don't need your full name. It can even be a made-up name. But I don't think Pony gets to be involved. Oh, Spriggle Diggle Pony. What do we say to you? I guess it's a Second Life handle or something?
I caught Second Life. I don't know how that ties in. I don't.
I've never been to Second Life. I don't know what it is. I mean, I know it's an online thing.
Shifting, lifting pony. Shifting.
Okay, so thanks for calling in.
Please call in again and tell us what the
Spackle Crackle Pony. We will answer. So what Squirtle Dirtle Pony was talking about was referring to is we were asked about parents who are meddling with so grandparents giving children like secret Jesus crap.
Yeah.
On the sly.
Yeah.
To sort of sneak it in under the parents' nose.
Yeah.
And Spazzle Dazzle Pony was absolutely right in saying that we did gloss over the
At a certain point, you have to move on, Dan. I'm not going to be able to engage.
Anyway, what we basically said was, who the fuck cares if, just teach your kids.
Your ideas should be able to win out, I think,
Right.
is what we said. But that did totally miss a very valid point, which is it's total bullshit for anybody to go around a parent's back. That's, yeah. I mean...
And I guess,
whatever the name is, he nailed it.
And I had that impulse, and I was going to say something, but it's just like, navigating that is something that I know nothing about.
Yeah.
And it does risk really alienating the grandparents from the grandkids.
I guess at a certain point, then...
You have to risk that.
You have to risk it.
Yeah.
So we were wrong.
Well,
or incomplete.
We were right and not right enough.
Well, we were right
stuff.
in the fact that I think the approach that was sort of outlined would actually probably, your kids would have this exposure and they would process it, and ultimately your ideas would win out.
Right.
That I think is actually accurate. If you had to live through this parents going behind the back thing, right, or the grandparents going behind your back thing, but clearly that trumps everything.
Indeed.
So it doesn't. It's almost a moot point that we were right, Dan.
Indeed.
We need to back off that. We need to be able to.
Yeah. I think we're okay.
Back off of it. I need you to back off of it, Dan.
Splattle Claddle Pony needs us to back off of it. All right. Anyway, thank you.
I'm a little punchy. I'm just going to say I'm a little punchy.
Yeah.
I've been going like long days all week.
Yeah.
I'm a little goofy.
Yeah.
So,
hey, you know what we should do? Okay. I got another thing, but you need to announce to our local listeners that there's something that they can see.
I just produced a film for Channel 7 here in
for our
Salt
local
Lake.
PBS affiliate.
Local PBS affiliate.
That would be KUED.
KUED. And a little documentary about food and local food and the sort of the fact that our farms are along the Wasatch Front are on the brink.
Yeah.
So if you're in the area and you want to watch something that I have been involved in, Monday, October 21st at 8 p.m., right after Antiques Roadshow, you can watch a half hour of a Frank Feldman produced documentary.
Yeah.
So
Frank made a film, everybody.
Yep.
He does that from time to time.
From time to time.
So yeah, everybody get on that. Put that on the old calendar.
And then after the fact, we'll maybe just share it on Facebook or something. But it'll be online. Right. So if anybody was actually just curious and wanted to see it,
sure. We'll make sure that everyone has the opportunity.
Yeah, it turned out. It was an amazing experience working with Channel 7. So.
Well, congrats, Frank.
Yeah. Thank you.
So I'm going to read one more email. It's going to launch me into the next thing, which is it's from Daniel. He says that he was writing to tell us that he had changed. He had canceled his subscription, his $5 a month subscription.
Aww.
And upped it to $10 a month.
Whoa! I didn't see that coming.
Yeah. So he just wanted to. He said he wanted to know what we're planning on doing for the 2014 American Atheist National Convention.
Oh yeah.
Which is going to be here in Salt Lake City.
Yeah.
And he thought it would be amazing if we did a live show. Mm-hmm. Also, if it wasn't too creepy, he said, would we be interested in hanging out with listeners during that time? Maybe a lunch or a meet and greet or something.
Mm.
So he's coming up from LA with some friends for the event. And are there any sites or things that he must see while he's in Utah?
Well, we have stuff to address all those.
Well, Daniel, there are things in the works, my friend. You nailed it. This is going to be happening in April, people. Easter weekend.
Yep.
You can go to American Atheist website and find all the info about it. They're promoting the crap out of it. They think it's going to be one of the best ones ever.
Woohoo!
And of course it is, because we're going to be there.
Yeah. Hello.
Doy. But yes, plans are in the works. We're teaming up with some groups to get some stuff done. There's something even Frank doesn't know about that I'm working on.
What?
That I forgot to tell you about. So,
are you going to tell me now?
No, I can't.
Yet?
I can't announce it over the thing yet. But we are working on. There will be a guided tour of fun Salt Lake things by Frank and I.
Yes.
Depending on interest, and we're still working out whether this is going to be. I'm in contact with American Atheists. We're going to see if we can get it on the schedule officially. If not, we're still going to do it. But we don't want to step on their toes at all.
Right.
So we're working on that. But depending on how much interest there is,
live show, is that?
We're talking. Well, I'm talking about just the tour first.
Oh, the tour.
So we're gonna take you to Temple Square.
Oh,
we're gonna take you to points of interest all over the valley that
so you're
we
saying
think are funny.
We're trying to get that to be an official.
I'm seeing
activity
it. Yeah, I'm in contact with them about that,
or at least listed in the program.
And they're pretty excited about working with us on that. I would love. I think we are talking about doing a live show. I'd love to get the Red Rock Hot Club in and have live music and have whomever's interested there for the taping, and we'll just we'll have your questions and all sorts of things. That would be fun.
Awesome. Okay.
And yeah, we let's see, what was the other thing that he mentioned? Because it was something that we
like a meet and greet.
I mean, oh, for sure, you guys.
That's like, even if all plans implode, at least there'll be some sort of
we will meet
bar
and
night
greet
or something.
Yeah, oh yeah, we're all gonna go to a bar. We will have the beer will be flowing like water down a stream or something.
That was a very colorful. That was a beautiful image you just
such
painted,
a
Dan.
clunky metaphor, man. I just it's like poetry took a shit on my mouth.
Wow, beer river.
I think we've all dreamed about it. We've all actually I saw online there was somebody on YouTube made a video where they actually were, I think they were Australians, and they actually went to their buddy's house and they were plumbers and they plumbed his whole house with kegs under his house.
Really?
So that all of his faucets flowed beer.
Oh, that'd be the messiest shower. You poo into
I guess all of it. The whole all
that
the
would
faucets
cause a
anyway.
mess.
Well, I mean they're gonna
it's gonna foam everywhere. You flush the toilet.
Would you get into the spirit of this thing,
Dan?
It's beer.
A shower and beer?
No, they
it's
probably
gonna be
fixed
a
it by then.
foamy mess.
All right,
Dan.
Frank is hung up on the wrong things. Everybody, I don't know what we're gonna do.
Run your dishwasher with that? What would happen to your hot water here, Dan? This sounds awful.
It's delicious.
They ruined his house.
Wonderful.
That hot water would probably explode.
Okay. Anyway, we've got some people to thank, Frank. Ryan has bought us drinks, which is a lovely thing to do. Thank you, Ryan. As we mentioned, Daniel has changed his subscription rate to $10 a month. That was really
amazing.
Really
Thank
sweet
you.
of you. And Colin has also bought us drinks. We got
fantastic.
We got multiple.
We need to get drinking.
Yeah, you and I have some drinking to do.
Wow.
So
okay.
We'll get on that, you guys. We don't want to shirk our responsibilities to you, our kind donors. If you also would like to donate to our help keep our podcast going, then you can do so by going to thankgodimatheist.com and clicking on the donate button.
Fantastic.
It'll be very helpful and much appreciated.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. All right. Well, let's just quickly, actually, talk about General Conference.
So the video, the audio that we played
about
earlier,
30 minutes ago,
is from a video that we did because last General Conference there was this bubbling feminist thing happening.
I know, really.
And
Mormon feminists?
And you know, there have been Mormon feminists for a long time. My mom was part of one of the waves of Mormon feminism back in the 70s.
Right.
So it goes back to as long as there have been women in Mormonism, there's been some that have been ready for it to be more than just the men are in charge and the women have to follow.
Sure.
And what's interesting is that when Joseph Smith was in charge, really early in the church, he kind of made what the women's society, the group that the women belong to, is called the Relief Society, and he basically made them a priesthood body. Yes, so they were
branch.
They were encouraged to give blessings to the sick,
to each other.
Other.
Could they give blessings to men? Was there a hierarchy in how the priesthood?
You know what? My sense is that it was just to each other, which is an interesting thing. Anyway,
but who knows? We don't know.
Anyway,
maybe they're children.
The next president of the church, one Mr. Brigham H. Young. I don't think H is.
He wasn't into that idea.
No. Did you know he disbanded the Relief Society for a while?
Yeah. Well, the women of the church needed to know their place.
They did need to know their place, and he put them in it.
Yeah.
Mostly by marrying them all.
And your place will be in this bedroom.
That's
and
right.
your place will be in this bedroom. And your place will be in this bedroom.
Right. So, and then when he reinstated the Relief Society, it was suddenly not about your authority, but it was about give them something to do while they submit to our authority. Because we're male. Penises mean something. Sort of thing.
Yeah. Okay.
Anywho, there's now a growing movement. I must admit, I'm a little surprised at how much it's grown.
Well, I'm surprised that the church hasn't squashed it in the last 6 months.
Right?
That's what surprises me.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe in this age of social media, they know not
can't
to like really. What's the word? I'm excommunicating or disfellowshipping or anything like that. That's going to cause a huge ruckus.
Yes, and they can't just squash it.
Right.
So what have they done? Well, I mean, as you may have seen in the video that we played a clip from, the first thing that they did that they thought might placate everything was they actually had a woman pray in General Conference for the first time. Right. That was meant to be
an empty gesture.
Yeah. Well, it was not entirely empty, just not.
It was. They broke with precedent, but ultimately it was something that was like a no-brainer.
Right. Yeah, that was an easy one because there was no ban in place. It was just, well, obviously men are going to say it because men are the important ones.
Well, and perhaps even it had been a matter of oversight. I mean, they were able to play it really easy.
Right.
They just had a woman pray.
But apparently it's not enough.
Of course it's not.
A group has actually arisen that called Ordain Women. You can go to ordainwomen.org. They have a website and everything, and
wow,
and it's quite a thing. And on this website, you'll see personal testimonies from women and men in the church who support the idea of women getting the priesthood.
There's probably more men who approve of it.
Well, we know
statistics.
We know the statistics show that, like, of people polled, if you ask, hey, are you okay with women getting the priesthood? If the church were to give women the priesthood, would you be okay with it?
Right.
And men, it was like somewhere like 70 or 80% were like, yeah, I'd be okay with it.
Yeah.
And the women, it was like 20% were okay with it.
This just shows the state of men in our society at this point.
What is the state of men in our society?
Weakened.
Oh, right. They don't have the balls to say, no, you
Mama's
can't have
boys. I want the return of real men.
Yeah.
Brigham Young type men.
Yes. Hateful, awful men.
No. You used all that bile to
serve the women.
Yeah, to fortify yourself.
Yes, exactly.
To hold yourself up.
You what do you think a stiff upper lip is made of? Bile and hatred.
Yeah.
That's what it comes from.
Yeah. It just doesn't get that way naturally.
So
years of practice? No.
So these uppity women are now they're doing a thing. It'll happen tomorrow.
What?
They are going to try to go to the men's meeting at General Conference, the priesthood meeting.
Ain't gonna happen.
Never gonna happen. And they know it. I think they know that it's not gonna happen, but there's technically...
The problem is you need a ticket.
Right,
to
you
get
do
in.
need a ticket.
So it's not like they can just like walk up to the building and they're going to be denied by security.
Well, here's the thing. They've actually gone through the correct channels to get the tickets.
Oh.
What they did was they encouraged the women who wanted to do this to go to their bishops and ask for a ticket to priesthood meeting, to go to their stake presidents and ask for a ticket to priesthood meeting.
Did any of them get one?
No. They've all been denied.
Okay.
The church has sweetly but flatly and roundly declined to allow these women in, but they're going to meet at a park that's right nearby, and then together en masse they're going to go, because there is like a place where you can get sort of standby tickets or whatever, and they're all going to stand in line, and the people are going to have to turn them down, each of the women. And
okay.
I'm guessing they'll get some press out of this.
They should have the need tickets sign too.
Yeah, they should. Yeah.
We'll get it, see if anybody will just give up one of their tickets.
We should have, if we had been ahead of the game on this, we should have encouraged some men who may have still had connections in the church to try and get tickets to it, not to give to the women, but then go to church in a dress. go to priesthood meeting in a dress. I have a ticket.
Yeah. They're still... I mean, I don't know. It would be interesting if
they're following a dress code.
Yeah. It would be interesting if a woman did get a ticket, though,
yeah,
and then had to be denied. I mean, that's like...
There is a famous a story, apparently. Current president of the church, Tommy Monson, apparently when he was first... what do you call it? Ordained? Not to the presidency, but just to be an apostle of the church. He was called. He was called and ordained. He was both of those things.
Set apart.
Indeed. This is all Mormon terminology here, folks. This is how it all sounds. Anyway, apparently his wife tried to get into priesthood meeting to hear his first priesthood meeting talk.
And did they deny her?
And they denied her, so she stood outside the door and tried to listen.
And did they plug her ears?
No.
Did they come behind her and just stick their fingers in her ears?
So last General Conference, the uppity women suddenly got a prayer out of them.
Yeah.
Guess what they got out of this time? Did they get anything?
They probably got something.
They did.
What did they get?
They got shoot.
So they got the television. I'm acting like
televised.
I don't. Like I don't know.
Yeah, thank you. Sorry.
They got television. You're going to be able to see it.
That's right.
On television.
The LDS Church is now going to broadcast for the first time
General Priesthood session. Widely.
So see, it's not like we're hiding anything from you, ladies. We're not hiding. I mean, the whole idea of this thing, what's funny is that the idea is not to go to priesthood meeting. The idea is to be seen at priesthood meeting.
Yeah.
So that, and what they say is they want the leaders to look out and see female faces there and be like, oh, it's not the worst thing in the world that's ever happened.
Right.
But
it's
it
not
is.
Gonna happen.
It is the worst thing.
And their ticket would be so far up in the nosebleed section.
Yeah, but
the thing seats 20,000 people.
But as the Ordained Women website points out, they would be wildly more colorful than their male counterparts. They would be visible. Because men always just wear dark suits and white shirts and ties. But these women, they can just wear all the colors.
Yeah, they can. Well, if they got the priesthood, though, they'd have to wear just
dark suits and ties.
Yeah, that's the dress code of the priesthood.
Of the priesthood. The moronic priesthood.
Are they okay with that?
Yeah. If you're okay with that.
Do they realize?
I
don't think they do. I don't think they've thought this thing through.
Trouble in paradise, people. Trouble in paradise. That's what we're dealing with here.
All right. Well, we'll report next week.
Yeah, we'll let you know. Like if there was, I'm hoping for a violent end to this, but they've vowed.
I don't think that's going to happen.
No, they're Mormons. There's you could go there and try to whip them up into a violent frenzy, and you would get nothing. They would just stare at you like, "Oh, why is he doing that?" They would be sad. You would make everyone sad
and embarrassed.
And embarrassed. They would be
like slinking off.
They would be. Oh my god. Oh, they would just cringe.
Shut up.
Yeah, exactly.
Shut up. Oh my god.
They wouldn't think, "Oh my god," though. They would literally,
oh my gosh,
unapologetically and unembarrassedly say, "Oh my gosh."
Oh my heck. Oh my heck. Oh my heck.
Oh my heck.
Somebody tell him to shut up. Somebody tell him to be quiet. Oh my heck. Oh my heck. Somebody be quiet. Be quiet.
Someone, if you kept doing it, if you kept trying to whip them into a frenzy, someone would start singing a hymn, and everybody else would join in.
Oh, thank God somebody started singing.
Onward, Christian
and they'd all feel the spirit. They'd all start feeling
us to war. They would all sing. It would happen. I guarantee you it would happen. You can make people sing.
Oh, God. All right. Well, Facebook.com/TGIAtheist is how you can find us on Facebook.
Right? Or you can email us at podcast@thankgodimatheist.com.
Or you could leave us a voicemail at 424-666-8442.
Don't forget that those podcast awards are out there.
Yeah, and if you're sitting on a good story for our 100th episode.
Oh, that's right. We still need you to. We've gotten several people who have called in and left voicemails for us about experiences that they've had with Thank God I'm Atheist, or just something that they really enjoyed. We would really appreciate it for our 100th episode. The way we're celebrating is we're asking you guys to call us up at that number, which is that 424-666 Thank God I'm Atheist TGIA, which is 8442.
Yes.
And just, relay a little story, or, something. If we
driveway moment.
Or yeah.
Was there a story in the past that we shared that you'd like to share with us?
Something so funny that milk came out your nose. Something so touching that you're...
A line that you just loved. Yeah. A joke you loved.
Yeah.
We want you...
Did we make you cry?
To tell us about us.
Yeah.
That's what we want.
Flatter the fuck out of us,
Yeah,
people.
that's what we're looking for, right?
We'd really appreciate it.
Yeah.
If you'd call in. Anyway, have a great week, everybody.
Yeah.
We'll see you next week.
Bye-bye.